Good evening. We will just give it a few minutes before we get started. The usual spiel. If you guys are live with us, please say hi. Let us know where you're watching us from. Oh, I feel like I'm a little blurry, Callie. At least on my phone, okay. It looks like I'm blurry.
No, I think you're okay. Like better than other times.
Okay. All right. If you're live, let us know where you're watching us from and say hi. This is our 90th episode, which is so crazy. Well, technically 89. Our 89 we had to reschedule, so it's 89. But in this sequence of orders, it's number 90. But yes, that is so crazy.
So I like literally just posted what's the easiest way to make money. So I'm going to share a couple of them that y'all said, right?
Nice.
So we have somebody saying messaging random people on Facebook to see if they had heard about a grant program that's going on right now. So if you have
that kind of sounds like a scam.
It is actually, because I've gotten that same message.
Yeah.
But that's one. Someone said clock in, yes, work. I think your 9 to 5 is your business partner. If you don't have a business partner, your 9 to 5 is your business partner.
Yes, that's true.
Let's see. Somebody says work part-time as a gigolo at the graveyard shift. Hey, whatever you got to do. DoorDash, which is true. I think I see a lot of people that like don't, like if they have time, DoorDash. Yeah, DoorDash.
I know some people who actually do DoorDash and they make decent money, actually.
Yeah. If you DoorDash or Lyft or Uber, please let us know. We love to
see how you're doing.
Yes. Yeah. See if you actually do make money.
Mm-hmm.
I might start DoorDashing on the weekend. Let's see. Right. I'm going to run out of gas. No, you know what? I'm going to get bad reviews about running out of gas. Did not get to my destination. Right. Someone said OnlyFans, which is true. There's lots of people in there making lots, like crazy, massive amounts of money.
I know.
And
I wish we would have had somebody from OnlyFans to come in and strictly talk about just OnlyFans and not be so like shy about it.
Did we? Well, we had.
We did talk about. We didn't go into detail about those things, right? It was super just like we mentioned it and that was it. But I think on the business side of that, I would love to hear more about it. Yeah. Not the
like what's your different packages? Right. Yeah, like how do you decide what packages? Like how do you market yourself so that your coworkers can't find you?
So your other business partner can't find you.
That's right. So you don't get exposed. How do you hire yourself and make sure that, like, can you set your country to a different country so that, you're not getting, US based folks? I don't know.
But I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. It's almost kind of like they'll find you if they look for you, right? But if they don't look for you and they're not, then you're fine, right?
Right.
But maybe just change your name also, right? Like even on social media, some people put their names backwards or shorten it, things like that. So there's lots of ways.
If you're on, please let us know where you are watching from.
Yeah, and say hi. Let us know.
And if you're not from Minnesota and in Minnesota right now for all the shenanigans this weekend, let us know too.
Oh my goodness, y'all. I have never been to Minnesota during J4. I think I'm going to go next year.
Yeah, you should definitely. It's an experience. Hi, Chai.
Hey, Chai.
We are so excited that you are going to be at the conference speaking.
Yep. A speaker. We learned so much from you overall from your little videos already, right? Yes. So I think just to like be there and listen to you really talk about, your business will be really interesting.
Yeah. Always willing to give. Yeah. We really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are we ready to get started? All right, you guys. So I was just laughing earlier about this is our 90th episode, but technically speaking, it's our 80th. Even we had to reschedule our 89th. We had to reschedule our 89th episode to July 6th. And so if you guys are just chilling at home that day, make sure you tune in as well. But today we are going to be talking to Tou Fang, who will be sharing more about the Hmong Wealth Builders Conference that's happening in Minnesota in August. And so we'll bring him on to kind of talk to him about that. But yeah, Callie, I'll pass it over to you if there's anything I missed.
Yeah, I think I think the location is gonna be really, really, really great because I always get super inspired from like the businesses that are in Minnesota, just how
Mhm.
much like entrepreneurs there are, people that take chances and take risk. And so, hopefully in future conferences, a lot of the, really successful people can come out of the woodwork. I know that he's got a slew of people that are really amazing, but I also know that there's probably a lot of hidden like millionaires out
Oh
there
yeah. Yeah.
who just have so much to share, to give. And instead of receiving, hundreds of DMs from all of us, speaking at a conference so that, you can kind of hit us all with your information would be amazing. But I think for anybody that's, struggling or like looking to make some changes, I think you definitely need to tune into this episode, tag someone who really needs this episode. Again, I think that, information is everything, and if you don't have information, I feel like the opportunities and accessibility makes it really hard to like up level and just get out of poverty. And so this is a great opportunity to be there, and most of the people are super humble, and like I feel like we went and I didn't feel stupid at all, like even though there's a lot of things I didn't know when we went to the Hmong Hustlers conference last year. It was a really great experience, so I'm really excited for this
Yeah.
year's.
Yeah, I think it's just inspiration too, right? I think sometimes when we are kind of looking for that inspiration, like attending different conferences, you'll meet some really amazing people. You'll get to hear a lot of amazing stories of how people got started and just their perseverance to kind of push through a lot of hurdles, right, to kind of get to where they are. So I think anytime you can, I would encourage to attend. Just even if you don't have the funding right now, right? Like I think just hearing people's stories and feeling inspired so you can continue to save or do whatever you need to do, find your way of getting to where you need to go. So, but
Yeah,
I'm
and
excited to talk to you.
there's definitely like all levels of people that come. Like I feel
Yeah.
like even the people that were attendees, like there was this gal that was sitting at our table who like had 14 homes in Colorado, like as an
Mhm.
attendee. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And then there were, other people who are just like haven't started and just want to learn more. And so I feel like if
Yeah.
you're nervous about like being intimidated, I would say like don't be nervous, because there's going to be people who are at your level who you can kind of go through that experience together. So
Yeah.
anyways, we will bring on our guest Tou Fang to share more with us about his story and then talk about the conference as well.
Hello.
You're like, oh, too close.
He's ready. He's ready.
Yeah.
How
Uh,
are you?
yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Goldie and Olivia. Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah. So I know we brought you in to talk about the conference, but I feel like before we even get to talking about that, we want to know a little bit more about you, right? So if you could share a little bit about where you grew up, your educational background, and how you got started into real estate before we dive into the conference, that would be great.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. You guys did amazing. Both of you guys at your show here. So, kudos to both of you guys. I know you guys work really hard. I think like 3-4 years in the making
Mm-hmm.
for all that talk. So, I'm really happy. I'm really inspired by the work that you both are doing. So, congratulations on that. More success to come from the both of you guys. So, thanks for having me on. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, my name is Tou Fang. Before I started investing, I lived in San Diego. So we came in '94 from Thailand to the U.S. here. So typical story, for our Hmong people. And so we came '94 and we end up in San Diego. So I just kind of stayed down there. Um, then I went to school. After high school, I went to UC San Diego, and I did like math, computer science over there. And so after that, I just got a job in the IT space. Knowing what I know now, I should have done finance because math is CS. You sort of have to pick like, oh, you go to finance or you go to like tech. I end up going through to tech, which is great for me at that time. But I think I'd have been happier going the finance route. But that's okay. It's never too late. Uh, yeah, so I was just down there, working down there for UC San Diego actually. So I work for a nonprofit in the tech space there. So in IT space for a very long time. Then once I got married in 2000, well, don't quote me on the date. My wife's gonna hate me, but once we got married, if you guys don't know, I think Ali, you know this, because you're in Seattle, right? Are both of you guys in Seattle?
We're in Portland.
Oh, Portland. Oh,
Close enough.
that's a little bit cheaper, but San Diego is really, really expensive,
Yeah.
if you guys know. So like it was, we had to start thinking about, okay, if we're gonna raise a family, how are we gonna raise a family? If it's just me and my wife. And so, we thought about it, and it's very tough. So we look at a couple of different locations. San Diego is a lovely place. I love San Diego. I grew up there, all my memories in San Diego. But when you have to raise a family, you have to really think about how you're going to do that. Where do you want your kids to go to school? Where you want that? What you want them to learn? The communities you want them to grow up with, all that stuff. And um, at that time, or before we got married, or even after we got married, when my wife and I were dating, she was already doing like Hmong clothes and stuff. So she's in the fashion industry. She designed, make her own clothes and stuff like that. And so I was helping her with that, and so she was already an entrepreneur before I was. So all this stuff we're doing is really because of her. But she came to Minnesota here. You guys kind of heard our story a little bit at Chai's conference. But she came to Minnesota to take a look at the space up here. Of course, she sells Hmong clothes. So the market up here is way better for selling Hmong clothes than it is in like San Diego. So we decided to move up here to Minnesota. It's good for her. And then I also have a lot of brothers and sisters up here too, and it just makes sense. My older siblings has been telling me for a very, 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 very long time to move up, but I just kind of got used to San Diego. I never moved, and so at that time it seems right. My wife came actually July 4th. Actually, at that time, she came J4 for the Freedom Festival here to sell mom clothes. Then she went back home to San Diego after she sold the clothes. At that time, I couldn't come with her. I was still working. And then in August of that year, in 2016, she said, "All right, we're going to Minnesota." And so we just packed up the month after, and we came up here with the intention to build her business, and then also to invest in real estate. That's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I never had the guts to do it until the wife's like, "You got to do it now." So that's how we got started.
I love y'all's story in that, like, she had been super entrepreneurial, and had kind of helped you make the jump on that. And I think it's just, again, I think it speaks volume of, because like she needed your support also, right? Because if
Yeah.
it was just her, like Elaine, trying to do all this stuff, and then, if you were just like, no, I'm not going to support you, or I'm going to go spend money and, waste money over here.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like having a really good partner who can see that vision with you is so important.
Yeah, it is because in this space, it gets lonely too, and so you have another partner there because you face a lot of failures. You try things, it doesn't work, and stuff like that. And it's not like I'm in the nonprofit space for a very long time, so I think I can speak on this. In nonprofit, if we fail, it's okay. We still have our grants.
That's
In this
true.
case, if you fail, you're losing that money.
Yeah.
You're not getting that. So it's kind of like putting your money where your mouth is, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How did you like start to gain interest into real estate, right? You said something you've always wanted to do. When did you know
Yeah.
that that's something you wanted to do, and or what triggered you to kind of head in that direction?
Well, I think a lot of real estate investors or entrepreneurs, they get ruined by the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. So
Hmm.
that kind of mess you up. in a good and a bad way. So it's how you do it. So I mean, I read that book probably maybe senior or freshman year. So senior in high school or freshman year in college. And so it's like, okay, like it's okay to go work for other people, but you really need to build something for yourself too. So I think it's one of that. I think the second is I think I just never kind of really fit in stuff, you know. And so maybe it's that too, that I never felt like I fit, even though I was in these organizations that are really good. Like when I was at UC San Diego, I worked for a nonprofit that we do outreach to get students to go to college. So like because I always loved the education space, and so I ended up working for that. Uh, and yeah, that was really good. But then like I realized like you need to also take care of yourself. And so after reading that book, it's like, okay, I'll do this, but I also work on something to like kind of do my own thing as well. And then it's always like, oh, okay, I'll do that too. And then it's always like, I'll do that tomorrow. And then it's always like, okay, I'll do it next year. And then so after like 8, 9 years, it's 8, 9 years, right? So it goes quick. And then when I met my wife, at that time I finally did something I wanted to do, which is starting a photography company like at that time. um, because you guys know this too a bit, the Hmong and the Asian experience kind of goes with that too. Is that you got to work on academics. So in high school, you got to do all your extracurricular activities. You got to get your straight A's so that you could go to college. And so then you don't have time for hobbies like photography. Like that's not something that your parents are like, oh yeah, you want to do photography. So I always wanted to do that, but I never got the chance to really do it. And then, sort of that time before I met my wife, me and my friend finally started a photography company. And so we did a lot of like weddings and stuff like that because San Diego is a wedding destination. So, there's a lot of wedding in San Diego. And so when I did that, my wife does her clothing stuff. Or at that time, we were just dating. And so I was shooting all the photography for her clothing, right? And that's kind of how we got started in that entrepreneur stuff. That we really clicked over, like, okay, let's just do our own thing. I could shoot your stuff, market, all those things. And so all of that kind of into play. And then it's like, okay, I always wanted to do real estate. Like, why am I not doing it? Right. So that's when we reached out to some siblings that we have up here. We reached out to different mentors that we know. And Gali, you know how it is. It's very important to have good mentors. And so we just reached out to a bunch of people that we know in the real estate space. And so then after that, we got started. But before that, I was like, I just immersed myself back into like just learning as much as I can about real estate. I think for like 2 years, it's just like learning, 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 learning. I was kind of obsessive with that,
Yeah, I definitely because we both have heard your stories and know that y'all did have, like you said, great mentors and people in your lives. And so I think what's great about your conference is that you're going to have all these great lineups of people from different like industries, different experiences, that whether you're whichever package that people end up buying, that they'll get to have these one-on-ones and be able to sit down and really ask their questions and develop a relationship with some of these people, and hopefully some mentoring happens throughout that. But it is really important who you surround yourselves with, and who you get advice from.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the conference in a bit, and maybe you'll ask that later. But that's kind of the whole reason why we did the conference. All the people that are coming are just people that had mentored us, or the peers of ours. And so we're just bringing all the people that had affected us in a very positive way in our business. But I think for us, more importantly, for me and my wife, it's just in our life, because if you have a very positive outlook on things, it really helps your lifestyle. And so to us, it's more than business, is that positive lifestyle that they're able to give to us.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people would probably feel like, well, I don't have a lot of money. How do I start? Right. Because they probably look at you and probably everybody else and feels like, you know, like, well, you guys are more privileged because you've done this. But I think the great thing about you and your wife's story is that, and the way that you guys started, like your blueprint that you shared, that we want you to share here, is like how you guys even got to that point. But in the beginning, you had a specific strategy that I think a lot of people might not even know about, and that can actually be able to apply it with, you know, less, you know, like less amount of cash. You don't have to have 50,000 or, you know, 100,000 to start investing, right?
Yeah. Well, if you have a lot of money, you don't have to invest anymore. So you invest because you don't have money, right? That's what. Yeah, when my wife and I started, we didn't have money. Like the problem, the reason is we can't blame our parents, right? Like our parents, they brought us from Laos over here. Like they have such a tough time bringing all of us over here, and all the struggles and mental struggles. I think that's even more important than physical struggles, that they're able to bring us over here and provide us this opportunity, right? And so they have no financial background to teach us. So I don't blame my parents for not teaching. So I have no financial background. So all the years I was working, I had a decent paying IT job. I just couldn't save anything because I have no financial background. Like I don't know how to really do. It's a skill set, right? I don't have that skill set, and unfortunately they don't teach you that in the formal education system, right? And so you kind of had to learn that yourself. So throughout the whole time that I was working in my IT career, I was not able to save anything. So I got married and then we moved over here, and so we had zero, right? And then we had to move over here, so we have moving expense. So we charged like $2,000 on our credit cards to move over here, and then we kind of had to start everything fresh, right? um yeah, and so when we start out, we didn't have anything, so we had to be creative in the way that we invest in real estate. I know some friends, they might have, or if you have money, maybe you don't have to be as creative as we had to do, but we are forced into being creative with our how we invest. And so the strategy, there's a lot of different strategies, but if you don't have money, this is like the easiest and safest and risk averse strategy that you could take. And that's how we got started. So what you want to do is, for very little, you could purchase a duplex, triplex, or fourplex. So duplex is like 2 units in the same house. Triplex is 3, fourplex is 4. After 4, 5 units, that's considered commercial. So you cannot get the loan for that. So it's 2 to 4. And so what we did was we purchased a fourplex, right, as our very first investment. That's 3.5% down. So just save a little bit, and you could put 3.5% down. Use what the loan they call the FHA loan program, right? So FHA, the Federal Housing Administration, they don't do it, but they insure the banks that do it. So like Wells Fargo, loan officers, all of them will do it, FHA, but the FHA loan insure that loan program. So, anyways, this is a loan program. You pay 3.5% down, and then you could buy fourplex. So what that do is that you put very little money down, right? Probably, depend on where you're at, but anywhere from 10,000 to maybe 20 grand, and that's all you have to do. And that money you could even not borrow. Actually, that's the wrong term. That money, it could be gifted from family and friends, right? So go do a GoFundMe for your FHA for your FHA house fourplex. Do that. Don't quote me on the GoFundMe, but you could get that money that money could be gifted. So once you get that down payment money, you could purchase a fourplex, and what that does is that you could live in 1 unit and rent out the 3 units. And if you do this correctly, which what we did here in St. Paul, Minnesota, we rented out the 3 units, and then we live in our unit for free now because the 3 units already cover the entire mortgage. Plus, we still make about I think $300 to $900 after we pay everything else, and we live in that unit for free now because the other 3 covers it. So if you do this, it's very easy to get started. You don't need that much down, and it's very risk averse because you're managing the property. You're living there too, so you even pay less in property tax because you get special treatment if you live if that property is yours. So that's very easy. Anybody could do this. They call that house hacking. That's a more recent terminology, but people have been doing this for ages, and that's how I got started because when I got up here, that's what my mentor told me to do. He just said, "Do that. Don't focus on anything else yet. You have a billion things that you want to do. Like I want to do Airbnb. I want to flip all that stuff. No, 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 no. If you start out, let's just do that first. Take care of that first in your first year, and then there's other strategies that you could take. So before I go on to the next one, that's the first step that you need to take. Step one.
And then, did you guys have kids during this time too?
Not yet. We just
Not
got
yet.
married, and so we were still. It was just the two of us for that first second year. But now we have two wonderful girls. So
Yeah, really cute.
yeah.
I'm going to put up Chi's comment. So Chi says, I've been wanting to get into real estate for the last few years. One thing that's holding me back is definitely fear of failure, but I still eventually want to get started. Tou, do you have like some words of, I think we all are like this, the fear of failure. Maybe you can give just some word of advice to overcoming that.
Yeah. I talked about this a few times too, but I'll share with you what it is. Um, what I said earlier, there was actually another step that I did before that, but I didn't want to share that because it would be here all night. But we didn't have money. We have 7 grand, and we had to put it down. We had to put a deposit on that fourplex, or they're gonna sell it to other people. So we were able to save 7,000, and then we gave 5,000 to put a deposit on that property before we do the FHA program. Okay, we only have 7 grand, so we need 2,000 to fix the unit, and so that's our entire savings that we were able to save when we moved up here. So when we did that, I was still super nervous. My wife was freaking out. Like it's like, we never owned any real estate before all our entire lives, and now you're taking on like $300,000 debt, right? And then you take all of our money that we ever made, like to throw in this thing. So we were super scared. All right. So if you're going to start, right, it's going to be scary. Don't wait till the next day. Find a deal that is decent, that is good. Get together with some mentors and people that has done it. Don't go talk to people that has not done it. Like don't go talk to your aunt even though she's great, or don't go talk to your uncle even though he's wonderful, but they never done real estate. If you go talk to them, they're gonna say all the negative stuff to you, and you never will start. You want to go talk to people that has done it, and you want to talk to mentors that you believe and they've done a lot of stuff already, and then you get their advice. And if the deal is decent or good enough, just jump in. This first deal will never make you a millionaire. Okay, you're not going to be rich off of this first deal or be wealthy off of this first deal, but this first deal will get you started on the second and the third and the fourth, and continue rolling, right? So that's how you get started. So it will be scary. It will be okay. You might not sleep for a few days, but just find good people, that surround yourself with good people, and then jump in and do it. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to add to that too, of just like your network is so important, right? Like finding good people. And again, that's why these conferences are so amazing to go to, right? Because there's so many different people coming from all walks of life who've gone through multiple different challenging experience that they can share that'll hopefully help ease your mind. I know that at least for me, it was super helpful when we attended the Hmong Hustlers Millionaires Conference, right? Like we met Tou and his wife and a whole bunch of other amazing people. And I think it's just networking, hearing other people's story of how they've overcome it truly does kind of get you out of that fear of failure, because you're going to there's a uphill battle you're going to have to go through regardless. Nothing comes easy. And so that in itself should already mentally prepare you for the challenges coming up. Like it's expected already, right? So I think just kind of shifting your mindset a little bit helps too.
Yeah, so that's surrounded yourself with exactly what you said at the conference there too. Chai has been. I never asked Chai to be my mentor, but when I moved here, he was He was building Hmong Hustler and sharing a lot of information. We're very thankful for all the work that Chai has done. There's a lot of people that are very successful out there, but Chai is one of the pioneers that really like bring back and share the information to the rest of us. And
Yeah.
so he like when I moved up here, he did a couple of little workshops. He came up here to do a couple of little workshops. So I met up with him at that time, and being able to like keep in contact. Like so, he's part of my network now, right? At that time, keep contact, and we share information and some of the struggles that I go through. I share. We're able to kind of bounce ideas and share that with each other. And some of the stuff that he went through as well. And so he put in conferences like this together really helped us to expand our network and really like push each other to do larger stuff, right? Chai is doing bigger and better stuff now, so like all of us have to do bigger and better stuff too, right? So this pushing each other, like a lot of our peers that we're going through this journey together, really being around each other, really push each other to expand, grow on a business level and on a personal level as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I love how because like Chai talks a lot about like not taking weekends off, and then you and your wife do a lot of videos of just the actual work and some of the downsides of stuff. And I always feel like whether you work for somebody else or you work for yourself, like so then it's just like ultimately like it's probably better to like work for yourself and build that equity, even though sometimes there are sucky parts. I feel like the equity thing is like the key of like building your business.
Do you guys know where that weekends thing come from? Oh, okay.
I don't remember if Ty ever shared that with us, actually.
I'll tell you what it is. Okay,
Okay.
at that time, Chad's already, the big guy that he would do a lot of stuff he did. So I was trying to get his attention. I went to his meetup, and then I was like, oh, okay, let me take. I was like, okay, the biggest guy in the room. Let me take a photo with them, so at least I could tag them on Facebook so they could see me. So that's the first thing. So you guys should do this too. So that was like our very first thing up here that he did. And then later I followed this guy called Grant Cardone. Some people hate him. He's very controversial, but I love all the stuff that he put together. Uh, and so in one of his book, I think the 10x rule, that's what he talks about. Like he has this friend that was like his struggle in business and stuff like that, and he asked for Grant Cardone's advice, right? And this was a Sunday NFL game, and Grant was like, "Why don't you go do this for your business?" And he's like, "No, I'm watching the game. Like, why am I doing that, right?" So Grant was just like, if you're struggling, don't take weekends off. Like, why are you watching the game? Like, go work on your business. And so that's where it came from that book. And so I know I followed Grant Cardone, right? And so I was like, oh, I read all Grant Cardone stuff. So I'm like, how do I get Chai's attention? I don't think he even knows this. So I was like, the weekend thing's off. So I start like doing like, if you're not a millionaire, you have no business taking the weekends off. That's a quote from that book. So then every weekend that I do any work, I just do it and tag it to get Chai's attention. So that's how I got Chai's attention. He didn't. I don't know.
And look at you now. You're like big dog. So.
But so that's been a running joke between the two of us, and some other people joined in and stuff like that. And then just took on life on its own. But really, if you're still working and stuff like that, you should really like focus on yourself. So it's not necessarily the weekend off thing, but it's like, and at that time I was working full time too, right? So it's like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the only time I could really work on my business. So if I take those days off, then when am I going to work on my business, right? So that's kind of the running joke between that. But it really stemmed from me trying to get Chai's attention. So I don't even know if he knows that.
That is too funny. I'm going to drop Yang here. Hi, Yang. Yang is from Yummy Treats, and he is one of the speakers as well. And we're really excited to hear his story and how he's been able to grow in his cookie business, which is sometimes kind of a little bit different for us Hmong people, right? But hey, money is money.
Yeah, he's been so successful the last couple of years. Yeah, just seeing him popping out everywhere. And actually, if you've not tried his cookies, they are freaking delicious. I gained all 30 pounds back because of his cookies. Till this day, I still blame him for his cookies. I kid you not.
Yeah. Gang's not only going to speak. He's gonna do actual 2-hour training on how to start a business. So
Nice.
you guys don't want to miss that one. I'm probably gonna attend that one myself.
Yeah. We do have a question from the audience. But first, before we do that, like if there are any other speakers who are on with us tonight, please say hi so we will know that you're watching. So this question from Mao, what are some of your most favorite books to read or that has helped you get to where you are today?
Oh, well, I have a lot. I don't have time to really read much, but I listen to like the audio books all the time. So, well, of course, like the classic Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? So that one, I think that these are like some of the primers that everyone should read. That's foundational to anyone that's gonna do business or real estate. So Rich Dad Poor Dad, that's not even a real estate book; it's a business book. Um, for real estate, the one that really got me started was this book by Brandon Turner. He's the Bigger Pockets guy, or one of the guys. But now he's doing like bigger stuff now. But that's the title is like Little or No Money Down. Buying real estate with little or no money down by Brandon Turner. So I probably listened to that book like 30 something times because I'm really
Wow.
slow. So I had to like that's how I do. That's how I get anything done. Like when I was in college, I really love math because I could just do the problems over and over and over and over, and that's how I do good on my tests. So I need repetition. So I just listened to that book over and over and over until I kind of understood the concepts. So there's so many concepts in there to buy real estate for very little money, or no money. So that book for real estate, for like I have we could just read through. I'm not gonna read through all my books. For like because I'm very introverted, I'm in IT. See, I did photography because I'd rather be in the back. I didn't want to be in the front. I never thought I had to do talks like these, but um how to win friends and influence people, that's a really good one to kind of talk, because that's something I struggle with a lot. uh and then maybe like, well, the 10x rule by Grant Cardone. And then the most recent one that I really love is the $1 million off, $100 million offer, by Alex Hormozy. That one's been really good recently, and then I have a bunch of other ones too. But I think those should be enough. If you guys read just those that I put here, I think that they'll be really helpful and foundational to you starting out.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing those.
Yeah.
I made some notes for myself to grab some of those books.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Later I could put it in the chat if people want to read. Or I have a lot of books, so that that's what I do in my free time, just listen. Or if I do work or anything like that, or driving, I'm listening to these books because I'm really slow, so I have to listen to them over and over. And so for me to get their concept. But yeah.
So you talked about you guys getting that first fourplex, and I'm assuming there are no more fourplexes for 300K in Minnesota.
Let me know if you find one.
but the rent has gone up though. So
yeah.
The time that we bought it, rents were for the 2 beds. Rents were like 700 to 800, and then now rents are like 1,200 to 1,500, right? So rents has gone up, so that's okay. The main thing is you just need to make sure that the income that you get from these rentals covers your mortgage. So it doesn't really matter. Just make sure the rental income covers your mortgage.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you just have to find one. I'm still helping people purchase them. Like some of the people that we kind of not. I don't like to say mentor, but we trying to help them start investing. So we're still like, we just did a duplex, actually 2 duplexes the last 2 months for these 2 people that just started out. So there's still ways to find it. You just have to be creative. Like one of the ones we did was a FHA 203K loan, which I won't talk about, but just know that exists. that it's part of the FHA program, but you could borrow the money to fix the house and to purchase the house, all wrapped into one loan for 3.5% down. So if you do that, you could buy something that is like, needs rehab, that won't qualify for a regular FHA loan, and then you could still get what you want, right? In terms of making sure the math works. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's step one, right? Step one is to purchase your fourplex. And then so the next step, like I think everybody should do this, regardless of you want to invest or not. So step one, do the fourplex. It's actually easier to qualify for a fourplex than a single family because they take the other 3 units that you're not living in. They take that income and add on to your income to qualify to purchase the property. So it's actually easier to purchase a fourplex than a single family. The next step you want to take is after you do this for a year, then the next step you want to take is go buy a small single family. So like something like a 2 bedroom, right? So when you buy a small single family, they allow you to still do something very minimal down payment, from 3 to 5% down, because you're gonna live in that small family, so small single family home. And the reason I say small is because of step three, but you want to move there because you have a reason to move. You need your space, you need your privacy. You're not going to be living with people in an apartment all the time, right? So the government allows you to move there, and you pay very little down, anywhere from 3 to 5%, right? And so when you do that, you buy the small single family, maybe around a 2 bedroom. You rent all 4 units out, right? That's exactly what we did, right? So you rent all the 4 units out. You should have extra income now. So you take that income and you use that to pay for your mortgage for that small single family. So now you're still not paying rent, okay? Because that's your biggest expense, is your rent or your mortgage. And so the goal here is to eliminate or minimize the monthly rent or mortgage that you're paying. Because regardless, you're either paying to a landlord, or you're paying to a lender, or you're paying to your mom. And so if you're paying to your mom, be thankful that you're paying to your parents because they undercharge you. Okay, trust me.
Great.
Yeah. So that's step two. And then I'll just say step three quickly, and then we could kind of summarize or talk more about it. Step three is to buy the house that you're actually going to live in. So step three, now this is one per year, right? So step three, you're going to buy the 3 bedroom, 2 bath, or 4 bedroom, 2 baths that you're going to live in for a longer period of time, right? So then when you buy that, you have a reason to move out because you need more space. Maybe your family's growing, or your parents gonna come live with you, or your sister's gonna come live with you, whatever your situation is. So you could still buy the larger single family for 3 to 5% down, right? So all of this is to minimize the amount of money that you have to put down. And so when you do that, you rent out the small 2 bedrooms, and then you take the rent from that, and then you pay the larger single family that you're going to live in for the next 5, 8, or whatever years that you're going to be living in that home. So when you do this, what it does is that now you have income now to pay for your mortgage, all your mortgage for all the properties. And so then your savings, any work that you do, whether you're going to be doing a lot of real estate or business or whatever it is that you do, or even you're just in your career, right? Building your skill sets, all that stuff, all the money that you make, you're saving all of that money, right? You're not paying for a mortgage or a rent anymore. And so you could save your money very quickly when you do this. Imagine your rent, right? You guys just look at how much you guys pay rent. If you're paying like 2 grand a month, multiply that by 12, right? So see, like in 1 year you save 24 grand. 2 years you save close to 50, right? So in this case it's 3 years. So you could save like close to 60 to 100,000 dollars just by doing this for 3 years. So that's very helpful for us as a foundation. That's how my wife and I are able to scale after that. But more importantly than just the savings that you have in terms of finance, what it does is that if you're not thinking about like paying your mortgage all the time, every single month, it actually frees your mental capacity, like to really be creative and energize yourself and think of different ways to better your life. in terms of finance and your personal life with either you, your spouse, or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever it is, and your family, to build those relationships, right? So more important than just the finance part is your mental space. You're not so exhausted all the time mentally, so that you could really think clearly about what you want to do in your future. I think that's even more important than the financial stuff. So I encourage everybody to follow these 3 steps if you haven't started yet, or if you started, sometimes you can still kind of do it. We have some friends that kind of go backwards, but I encourage everybody to do this at least for the next 3 years. And then you could decide after that, like, hey, do I want to really like do my own thing, or do I want to stay at my job, which is fine too. Staying your job is great. What Gauri was saying earlier, your employer is your partner as well, right? And so you could stay your job if you love your job. I'm not those people that hate my job and I had to quit. Like, I love my job, like all the IT stuff that I do. I love all the staff that I work with, everything like that. And so you don't have to hate your job, but do that, and then you could decide, right? And so even if you decide to stay in your job and stay for the next like 40 years or whatever, the properties that you own here, trust me, that's in the 30 years that it's paid for, that will pay for your retirement. That you're automatically a millionaire. Let's just say that. So yeah. So I encourage everybody to do that if you haven't started, as a foundation. And then there's so many other things that we could do after you've done that.
Yeah. I think that when you shared that blueprint, literally, I think when you did it at the Millionaires Conference, it was less time than that. But I think that to me was like one of the best takeaways from that conference for me, right? Like, besides like the networking, getting to know people. So you guys, I think this is just a small snippet of things that, we took away when we entered, or when we went to the Millionaires Conference in Florida. Just so much information being shared, so much amazing information, really, that you can gain so much from just going and listening. And, I think, again, like I said before, I feel like our Hmong brothers and sisters, they're not greedy with their knowledge at all. The conference is purposely for them to share their experiences and what they've gone through, and, how they've become so successful. And, I think when you go, take what you can. I think, the blueprint that Tou Fang just shared, that really stuck out to me. And that, I think you guys were like one of the last speakers, and that, like, the whole time, that's what I took away from that, right? Besides grow some balls. That was the other thing that stuck out, right? So I think just going to these conferences and listening, like, there are going to be things that just is stuck. Like, it's stuck to you, right? You're like, I remember this, I'm going to utilize the strategy, and that's what I'm going to do. So I encourage you all to do that.
Oh yeah, thank you. I didn't know that you at least got something. So
yeah, I wrote that down in my notebook. I'm like, a duplex, one single family, big house.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. And Kelly and I went back and forth on, like, which route do we want to go? Do we want to go assisted living, or do we want to go real estate? And I think we were both still kind of contemplating on what route do you want to take next. So I think those are really, really good tips for folks who are just starting out, especially for the young ones, right? Like, where lechito mo poni, or lechito mo miñona, right? They may have a wife, or maybe not. It's great to just kind of start out with that blueprint of just growing yourself when your family grows.
Yeah, it's perfect for that. So, and Sai will be our conference too, by the way. So
I saw.
All right, so let's move it on to the conference. But before we talk about the conference, I know that Chai had shared that he was going to speak, and then somebody had wrote in the comments, and I'm going to read it here. I won't share the name of the person that shared it, but I will share the comment that was made. And so this person said, "This is great, but the problem is Hmong can talk a mean game on how to hustle, but they're greedy at sharing or loaning their money to others to help them start. Fact, you can give conferences and speeches all you want, but will you loan the money out to help your Hmong people so that they can become millionaires? Tough question, and we shall wait for the response. I like to borrow $100,000 to start with 6% interest with 2-year deferment." And then you did respond respond and you said, yes, we have that, DM me your project info. I will get it funded for you. I personally know that some of the speakers personally lent over $2 million for community members to start and scale their business. DM me. And so maybe you can share a little bit about that and like what kind of inspired, even the conference, right?
Yeah, it's cool. We put information out, and both of you guys put a lot of information out, so you probably get some backlash and stuff. And I know that when you put it out, you reach out to me like, "Oh, is that okay?" I'm like, "No, it's cool. Like, let people like say what they need to say." Yeah. So, that's fine. Yeah, and so I did talk to that individual as well, because I was like, "Yeah, DM me. I would love to see what your take on it is." Um, well, what he said is opposite from what my experience has gone through. Meeting all these people, and sometimes we have that sort of negative mentality or negative stereotype of people that are wealthy as well, right? I think there's only a few that do it, and then or like Hollywood kind of portray this rich bad wealthy person or rich bad rich person, in Hollywood space. And so that's kind of stereotype kind of stuck in, sort of just a sphere. um but that's further from the truth. Like all the people that I met, like that are successful, they're more than willing to give back. Like especially the older mentors that I met. Like I mean, this kind of sad to say, but sometimes their kids don't want to do the stuff they do because they hear it all the time. So they're like, "Dad, like you doing real estate, that's not fun, because you take me to all the stuff, all the real estate stuff." Some kids do it, but some of the kids don't. And so when these successful individuals, they meet other young Hmong entrepreneurs and investors, they want to share that information with them. Trust me. And you guys saw Chai's uncle, right? Like our first speaker at the Hmong Millionaires Conference. Like he just want to share all that information with all of us. And so all the Hmong people, all the Hmong individuals that I met, they're more than willing to share such information and wisdom with me and all the people that I know. So that's one takeaway from that. In terms of the money thing, and I think someone commented on there too, like why are you asking Hmong people for money? Like that's what the bank is for. Yes, that's what the bank is for. Go get money from the bank. Like, like this so easy to get, or not so easy, but you could get money from the bank and leverage that to do all your businesses and everything like that. And at the conference, we're gonna have different organizations that will be there to kind of show us how to tap into those funding. All right. And then the thing that the guy said, I think our Hmong people are not greedy. If you have a good deal, like send the deal, and we could get that funded. So if you just want like money for whatever, like for for stupid reasons, like it doesn't matter. Like you shouldn't even. If someone gives you money for that, I'm gonna tell that person to not give you money for it if it's for a stupid reason, you know 100,000, 6%, 2 year deferred, like that's not realistic. I would never do that, right? Like if I want 100,000 from people like you guys or whoever, my mentors, I'm gonna be like, I'm working on this deal. These are the like 20 steps I'm gonna take. At the end, this is the outcome. We put 100 in, we're probably gonna make 150, and then I'll split the profit 50-50 with you, right? So we each making 25 grand, right? That's how you need to start thinking about it. So if you present something like that to other Hmong successful individuals, especially investors, they've done this in the past. They know if the deal is good or not. Like if you present that to them and the deal sucks, they're gonna tell you, "Hey, Tou, these are the 5 things you need to fix on this deal so that you don't lose money." That's them giving like free advice and wisdom to you, right? So like because they say no to you, like don't be angry about it. They say no to you, they're gonna share some notes with you. Take that and learn, right? So if you want funding from anybody, like you need to go with the approach of like how can we all do this together so it benefits all of us, instead of taking like the mentality of, "Oh, it's me. I want the money so I could do this," and stuff like that. That doesn't work. That doesn't work in our Hmong community. That doesn't work in any community. So what that person and I don't know if he's listening or not, but what he's lacking is this mindset shift. You need to shift your mind in helping other people, even the mentors, even the people that are doing well, see what they need. And then you can ask, okay, these are the projects we're working on. This is how we all could benefit from it, right? If you do it that way, everybody will give you money. Trust me, if you guys find any good deals, like this, or any good projects that you're working on, like it's very easy to find money. The From my experience that I've been doing this for the last 6 7 years. So yeah, what he said, that's further from the truth. And I hope that maybe he should come to the conference too, meet some of the more entrepreneurs there. Hopefully that change your mindset a little bit. But all the Hmong people that I met, none of them are greedy. All of them are all the successful Hmong people. They're very humble. They want to give back. They want to share all that stuff to our community. And all the hard work that me and my wife have been able to do, really stem from them giving all that information to us. Not even the money. Some of them do give us some funding for some of our projects, but I think the advice and wisdom, that's a lot more than the money. So I hope
I
that helped with that.
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfectly said. I
Thing.
think that was
Yes.
awesome.
Yes,
Yeah,
I definitely feel like it's the ideas, like the 主语言 that sometimes
yeah,
when you're stuck and you're trying to figure something out, that somebody gives you that perspective. I feel like that's the gold. Like that's what's,
Mhm.
like you said, is most valuable.
Yeah. Well, and of course too, it's like if your pitch isn't all that great, right? Anytime you invest in anything, you want some kind of net back, right? It's not
yeah,
just lending it to lend it; it's a business transaction almost, right? And so, you got to make sure you have a good business plan, a good
yeah,
pitch. It is a good deal, right? It's not just among people who's not going to give that. Nobody wants that deal, like you said, right?
yeah.
Too. So,
Well, like I
I
look
think you're
at
very smart.
profit. I'm a math nerd, so my major is in math. So like math and computers. So I look at data points. Like
Mhm.
money is just a data point, or like profit is a data point to me. So like any type of data, it tells you something about something, right? So
Yeah.
like if you have something that is very profitable, it just means that people deem it valuable. So they vote with their dollar, you know. So that's why you're profitable. Like Google's very profitable because Google built a bunch of stuff that makes our lives easier, right? So
Mhm.
they're super valuable. Like so profit is a measurement and a data point of values, right? So if you do something and you're not profitable, one, you probably need to work on your skill set. Second, maybe the things you do is not valuable, so don't do it. Like go do
Yeah.
something valuable to society. Like profit is a direct to me. It's a direct measurement of how valuable what you do is. Now, are there some things that maybe there's always like outliers, right? But in general, that's how I look at it. So anything that we do that's very profitable, it's because people deem it very valuable. And if people stop deeming it valuable, they're gonna vote with their dollar. They're gonna pay you less. The less people is gonna do it, and they'll go do something else that is valuable for society, right? So that's how I look at profit. And so if people are very profitable, that's great. Like I'm
Mhm.
happy for them.
Yeah.
So something that is very valuable is your conference. So maybe you can give us a little sales pitch on your conference and what to expect, where it's going to be. I know there was a question about when it is and where it is, and thank you, Michael, for answering it. But two, maybe you can kind of talk about just the conference.
Yeah. Yeah, so we did the Millionaires Conference last August, and Chai put that very wonderful. He did a lot of work. It's not easy to put a conference together. So thank you, Chai, for spearheading education for our Hmong community. And as you can tell, I really into this education thing. Oh, there's a fly flying here. Um, and so yeah, so all it is really I want to bring this education to us. Education is education. We don't have to take the formal educational route, and I wish in the formal education route they teach all of us, they teach this to all of us, but they don't. And so I want to bring that specifically to our Hmong community, because I think that there's a lack of that in our Hmong community, and so we need to really bring that in. So Real one is it's the Hmong Wealth Builders Conference, but more than the conference, it's the Hmong Wealth Builders platform. So our conference is part of the platform. After the conference, we still go into our seminars. We're gonna be here as a resource guide to provide resources to our Hmong community, right? Um, and so the conference is a big part of that, and or part of that. And so we want you guys to come. That's August 24th and 25th. So why do the conference? One, because Chai's not doing one this year. When everybody can ask him to do one, and it's kind of unfair to make Chai do all this education stuff by himself, right? So I thought I'd take it this year, and then next year he's gonna do his, and we all gonna go down support him down there. So next year we're probably most likely not going to do a Hmong Wealth Builders Conference, but the platform will still exist, right? The conference, I'm inviting all the people that has helped me and my wife throughout this whole journey. So it's just all the advice that we got, all the so all of them has helped us in one way or another, gave us mentorship, gave us like everything, all the success that we had. All the people that are coming to the conference were a big part of that in one way or another. And so we wanted to bring them to share all of that with the rest of our Hmong community. On top of that, they're not just regular people. Like they're like top notch in their specific industry. You know, like they're not just like they're not just really good in the Hmong community. They're really good in general, right? So these are like people that are millions to like 300 million plus in net worth, right? That are coming there to share all that information with us. And so I think there's a lot that all of us could gain and learn from that. And I want all of us to go there and learn from that. Not just speaking, but the reason we structure it this way, again, I'm really into education. So we actually broke it into workshops so that you actually have like 2+ hours a workshop, intensive training. So we broke it into sort of two concurrent workshop. So one will focus on business, and then one will focus on real estate. You know, and so even all the business they have like 2 hours each to really break down how you run your business. On the third day, actually, Gia Natalie, the owner of two Chick-fil-A's, she's actually doing 3.5 hour training. So this is like you're getting like a lot of information for that workshop, right? And these are workshops that she does. These are trainings that she does for a lot of other organizations, and she's doing that for us for this very small ticket for us to go. So for her, if you want to scale your business, you go to that, right? So it's all about education stuff. Fuji and myself will be training. Will be doing the real estate training, the BRRRR strategy. That's what I specialize in. So that's when you buy it, you you rehab it, you rent it out, you refinance, and then you repeat the process. So you have to learn basically everything about real estate: how to buy, how to rehab, how to be a landlord, how to get your finance in order so you can refinance. So I'm doing 3.5 hour training on that on its own. So like it's just like all education for all of us. And so I really want all of you guys to come. On top of that, all the speakers, they're gonna be there too, and I'm forcing all the speakers and trainers to hang out with all of the attendees by bribing them with food. So that's why I structure it this way. On the ticket includes all breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So all the for the 2 days, right? So all the speakers and trainers, they have to eat. So they have to grab lunch with you guys, and so all the attendees will have opportunities to meet with all the speakers and trainers and really hang out and talk to them and stuff like that. Like the dinners are like 4 hours long because we also have live entertainment towards the end of the dinner. So you have opportunity to really network aside from just learning. So be very intense. It's going to be intense 2 days, but I guarantee you, you guys will have a lot. You guys will get a lot from it. All the speakers or trainers, I personally picked them because they affected my life in a very positive way in my business and personally. So I hope, I guarantee you guys that you guys will have a great time coming there. It's gonna explode your business if you already run a business. If you're already investing in real estate, it's gonna 10x that. If you're starting out, you don't know where to start. You will find directions when you come to the conference. And so, like, to me, honestly, if you just come there to listen to Chai, that's worth the price already. So, or one of the speakers or trainers there, like that's worth the price to just come. I would personally pay for that, just for one of them. So I hope you guys come. Okay, we're only gonna do it this year, and so this is your only opportunity to come.
Yeah, and so definitely, if you use code ATT2023, you'll get 10% off, and that's at www.hmongwealthbuilders.com/conference. And I'm on your site right now. It looks like the Premier Pass, which includes a lot of one-on-one time with the speakers. There's only 2 tickets left for that. And so again, if you're wanting to, if you're coming, I think it's especially if you're coming from far away and like really wanting to make the best use of your time and hearing everybody speak, and then having a lot of time with the folks one-on-one for your specific questions, I think that that is a really good way to go with the Premier Pass. Again, there's only 6 tickets that you were selling, and now there's only 2 tickets left. And so definitely pick that up, apply that ATT 2023 for 10% off,
Yeah, that's really
so
great.
that can cut some of the costs off.
Yeah, that Premier Pass. If you don't know, how much is it? I think it's like or it's 2 grand. Okay, so you get everything. Like you get all the you get all the VIP, everything like that. All the recordings. We're recording this. So anybody that purchased a ticket get the recording forever. So you could go back, listen to it, all that stuff. In case you miss anything, you could go back and listen to it. And it'll be on our platform. You get it forever. Okay. The Premier Pass is 2,000, and you get the 3rd day. We all gotta go hang out, play golf together with all the speakers and trainers. So if you don't know whether you should get the Premier Pass, I'm just being upfront with you guys. Don't get it. Okay, the Premier Pass is for people that are serious, and it's only for 6 people, and it's gonna be sold out. So we'll have a great time. We'll do all that. We'll get to network, hang out with all the speakers and trainers, and really building that relationship with these individuals will be great. So I'm actually gonna tell you guys, don't buy the Premier Pass, but actually all the people that purchased the Premier Pass, I did not have to sell them at all. They just like, hey, too, let me get it. So actually, those were purchased very quickly. But if you're able to afford it, you guys get it. It'll be very helpful for us to hang out and really have more one-on-one time. And there's only 6 of you guys, so.
Yeah, it's definitely more of an intimate experience with the speakers, which I mean, I don't know a lot of conferences where you can actually, get that much time with, I mean, hardly, I feel like speakers
Yeah.
come in and then they're out and all you get is them from the stage. And so if you choose not to do the Premier Pass, there's also a VIP pass, which includes a VIP boat dinner cruise. Again, speakers will be there. So a little bit more time with them as well. And then if that's a little bit too pricey, there's also the general pass, which is $497. And then if you just for whatever reason aren't able to be present at that time, there is a virtual pass as well for $167. And so and then there is a special advanced assisted living training course with Sai. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I can, but before I talk about that, I'll go back to those because that's not really part of the thing. I just put it out there. I haven't promoted at all, too, by the way. Yeah, so get the VIP pass if you guys can. I encourage you guys to get the VIP pass. We're gonna go on the boat cruise. It's 3 level, I think 3 or 4 level yacht. So we'll go around, and the intention of that one is because Chai did it before, so we're just copying him. All this stuff we just copied Chai. So thanks, Chai. But 2 is really to get all the I'm just trying to trap all the speakers and trainers in a place where they cannot leave so that you guys can hang out with them. Like that's really the intention. So we'll be on there. We'll have live entertainment on there too. So I encourage everybody to get the VIP if you can. Also, that's an opportunity for us to dress up a little bit too, because we'll have the conference and then that kind of ends the conference. So you get to dress up and take pictures and create memories and meet the speakers, trainers, and meet your peers as well. Your peers that you grow up with, like the people that we started investing together. We really supporting each other at this point. So build those relationships with your peers. So that's really important, and I encourage all you guys to come. Again, all food, everything's paid for already. So to me, it's worth that price. or even more. I think we provide a lot more than that. And then yeah, get the general if you cannot go to the boat cruise, or if we run out, I'm sorry, you have to buy the general pass. It's still very great. You still gonna go to the first dinner, which Thursday we're having dinner. Our keynote speaker on Thursday evening, we'll have it at Unison. Our keynote speaker is Tou Fang. So Tou Fang, he's a real estate developer, done over $1 billion of real estate development and management. And so he'll be our keynote speaker there. You guys met him before as well. So he'll share all the stuff. He'll be there at the dinner with you guys. So even that dinner is really great already. Again, we're providing all the dinner, and you get to really listen. He will be the only speaker over there, so he really will have time to really share, and then you guys could talk to him afterwards, right? Yeah, so that's a really really great, like the general and the VIP. And I encourage all you guys to do it. If you guys do have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I can answer any questions that you guys have, or any concerns that you guys have. I don't want price to be an issue, right? So if you can't really afford it, let me know. We could work something out. I'm working out with I wanted students to be there, so my team and I are already working now with some organizations to help some students get there, right? So there are things that we could do, and I really want you guys to be there. Money should not be an issue, but if you guys could afford it, get those tickets. I really encourage that. And then finally, like you said, the virtual pass. If you absolutely cannot make it, get the virtual pass. You still get all the recordings. It's just that you won't really have time to network with the individuals, and that'd be really great as well. So I designed these packages really with the intention to get all the information out to our Hmong community as much as possible. I say Hmong, but you don't have to be Hmong to attend. It's just it's just that we're trying to focus on the Hmong community, and all the speakers and trainers are all Hmong successful individuals. All right. So with that said, yes, the side talk will be there to do at the conference, to do a 2 hour introductory course on assisted living facility. If you guys don't know Sai, he's been big in the assisted living facility space, made millions or millions on in that space. Um, and so he's really great, right? And he'll still do that training at the conference, which I encourage all you guys to attend that specific training as well. So that's part of the conference already. If you already know that you want to do assisted living, Sai will do. He's staying for an extra week up here, and so he's doing an advanced training for all the people that are interested. So he's not doing like 5 people. We're limited to 5 people because he's here for 5 days. Each person that signs up will get 1 full day with him. He said 6 hours, but trust me, it's gonna be a full day. So it's you and your spouse get 1 full day with Sai to really brainstorm what you want to do in your assisted living facility, all the questions that you have, all the regulations, all that stuff. It's one on one. Like I told Sai, like, why are you charging so little? but but so the money that you pay for this advanced course in assisted living will help skyrocket and get you into the assisted living space if you know that you want to do that already. On top of that, the reason we're doing that is because all the money that's made from this course, Sai's donating that, and he's building some schools and homes for needy families in Laos and Vietnam. So this is not like Sai's not taking a penny. I'm not taking a penny from that advanced course. All that money is going to be donated to help the families, different families, and that needs that help in Laos and in Vietnam. So this is like the charity work that Sai and I thought about and to put together because we want to give back to our community. And instead of like Sai could just donate that money, right? But if he donate that money, we're not building people behind that, right? So I told Sai, no, you need to. He doesn't want to do it, but Sai, no, if you want to help the people over there, use your knowledge, teach the next group of people, right? But at the same time, they pay in to help the community in Laos and Vietnam, or Hmong people in Laos and Vietnam. At the same time, you're building them so that they could expand, build their own wealth, and then later they could contribute more in the future. So that's why we're doing that. I have not promoted that at all. But we have 2 people that purchased already, so there's only 3 spots left. So if you guys want to do it, get the ticket for size thing. If you're a bit interested, and if you know that you're gonna do assisted living, trust me, like you're spending 1 full day with Sai. He's gonna, once you buy the ticket, he's gonna book the time with you here in Minnesota. He's staying extra week specifically just to help those people that are gonna do assisted living. So yeah, aside from the conference too, that's really great. I encourage all you guys to do that too. Again, that's only, I haven't promoted at all, but 2 tickets already sold out. So if you guys are interested, there's only 3 more spots left for Sai's advanced assisted living training. And again, we're donating all that money.
So hurry up and purchase those tickets.
Yeah, and you won't be disappointed to spend a day with Sai. He is just so funny, and he will make your day worth it. He'll teach you a lot, for sure.
Yes. And so when does prices go up again? So everybody unfortunately already missed the early bird pricing. And so this is kind of the general pricing now, but I think at some point the pricing will go up. Is that correct?
Yeah, so at the end of July and August, the price is going to be full price. So you guys see the price on there that we slashed. So I encourage you guys to purchase it today so that we could get all that together. Yeah, it's going to go up. But, like, invest in yourself. Like, this is an investment in yourself. And I promise you, if you guys come and you guys are disappointed in the conference, just let me know. We could give your money back.
Guarantee, yes.
Because I've been because all these people they such they help me and my wife so much, right? And so if you meet any of them and you think the conference is not worth it, just let me know, because if the conference is not worth it for you, I don't I don't know how much else I can help you. So might as well give you your money back.
That's right, but you definitely put you get what you put in, and so definitely when you go, like, use that opportunity to not only just get to know the speakers, but even the people beside you, because you might even be sitting beside millionaires that you don't even realize that they have a lot of knowledge as well, because a lot of these people are already sometimes in the game, like, pretty deep as well. And so go, don't be nervous, just network, use that time to really get to know people and start building that network of yours.
All the people that I know that do really well, they purchase their tickets like way ahead already. Like right when I put the conference together and I just announced it without like much details, like we had 30 people already purchased. Like these are people that already like and they're already, I'm like, you don't even need the conference, like you're already like successful. So there will be really successful people attending as well. So yes, like Gali, you said, you will be meeting other peers there that are already successful. So keep your eye out.
Yes, don't judge people by how they look, because it's probably the people that live Mumbu that you should be talking to and making sure that you ask how many houses they own and how many, like what business they're in.
Yeah. People come for inspiration, and I think some of those folks, they come to also find mentees. I really do believe that, right? Like you said, like people are just wanting to share their knowledge, and sometimes they pay to see who needs their help, even though they may not be a speaker, but they have a wealth of knowledge to share. And we experience that a lot, right, Callie? When we're at the Millionaires Conference, people are just willing to just say, hey, this is what I did. This is what I own now. This is kind of like what my net worth is. And this is how I got there. And it's just amazing to listen to and get to know them. So don't judge. Yeah.
And honestly, like for us to expand our real estate, because we're trying to expand and do larger, we have like we have small portfolio, but we're trying to grow that portfolio, right? And so in order for us to grow our portfolio, we need people to help us. And so going and the people that come, they're thinking exactly the same thing, like what you were saying, Olivia. They're looking to see other mentees or people who are starting out that could do some of the work with them. And that's how they grow. And so like everybody needs help, even trust me, like people that are very successful, there's something that they need help with, right? And so if you find what they need and you just go help that, like they're more than willing to share all that information with you and teach you how to be wealthy.
Yeah.
And so when is the conference again?
So it'll be August 24th, 25th here in St. Paul, Minnesota. And so it'll be at the YMCA in Maplewood. They have a large conference room there. And then for dinner, it's close to Unison. So Unison Banquet Hall will be over there for dinner with Ku as the keynote speaker. And then we'll have live bands after that. And then on the 25th, which is a Friday, we'll be back at the conference place, and then we'll go do the boat cruise in Stillwater. So if you guys know that, that's the river, Mississippi River here in Minnesota.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Again, you can use code ATT2023 for 10% off, and the website is hmongwealthbuilders.com. And so make sure, I was going to say .org, but it's .com, not .org. And so definitely be sure to go look on there, drop Tou Fang a DM if you have additional questions, or go into the group and just ask your questions if there are certain questions that you have on the conference. But it will be a great time to meet a lot of people and just to kind of get your feet wet if you've never been exposed to this kind of information. We definitely hope that we will see you there. And I think with that, we will see y'all next time. Have a good night.
Yeah.